You are listening to the Beaverton, North America's trusted source of news.
This week on the Beaverton, Danielle Smith invokes the notwithstanding clause to order Alberta teachers back to work because this anti-woke propaganda ain't gonna teach itself. A legal filing from a Vancouver landlord cites AI-generated law, which was an obvious AI hallucination since it said, "I'm lowering the rent." A new study finds a majority of Canadians no longer see the United States as a friend, though we do see Mexico as a long-distance fuck buddy. Make sure to set an empty chair at the dinner table for Frankenstein. It's time for the Beaverton Weekly Report, Halloween edition, for October 28th, 2025. Welcome to the Beaverton Weekly Report. I am Ian McIntyre, once again filling in for Luke Gordon Field, who is still felled by whatever the hell his kids took home from school, germ-wise. The Beaverton Weekly Report, brought to you by Little Kid Germs. They're very contagious. Here with us, as always, still just waking up, I think, from the Marathon Jays game that she endured at the Rogers Centre last night. It is our beloved panelist, Clare Blackwood.
I'm just so full of emotions.
Describe them.
It's sadness. Oh God, I don't even know. It was great. It was terrible. It was devastating. I was so proud of them. I also wish that anybody got a hit past the fifth inning, but our pitchers shoved, and I'm also devastated.
I'm
going back again tonight.
Clare currently has the haunted 1,000-yard stare of like a Vietnam veteran. It's
like somebody who watched Eric Lauer pitch 4 perfect innings, and then we didn't do shit for him. That's the stare.
I'm so very sorry, and I can't wait to hear about how it goes tonight.
Woo!
I myself stayed up late and watched K-pop Demon Hunters. It's delightful. Anyway, joining us here this week, fresh off the plane from Europe, I'm going to call him the Beaverton's European correspondent. It is longtime guest, Andrew Ivimey.
Oh, thank you. Grazie mille.
I was going to say you have to speak in European accents for the rest of the show.
Well,
that's the law.
If you like just me saying grazie, then I'll have the Italian for you. So I've been there on a honeymoon for the past couple of weeks, and it's been lovely.
Oh, yeah. I saw the Instagram stories. They were delightful.
He's extremely tan.
You are pretty tan, bud.
All right, yeah. I've gotten that since I've come back. It's one of those sneaky ones where it's like you don't expect it in the fall. You know what I mean? Like I'm wearing a crisp sweater sometimes over there. But I will say the stereotypical kind of Italian look of a sweater gently tied around your neck. The temperature swings there. It went from like 30 degrees sometimes in the day to 11 degrees at night, a near 20-degree swing. And I'm like, the Canadian around the waist doesn't work. Mm-hmm. It makes it too warm down there. It's not good for getting around. I just started naturally rocking a gently tied cashmere sweater around my neck by like day 4 in Italy, and people just started talking Italian to me, and I'm like, yes, I've assimilated. Grazie.
I saw you wearing the sweater around the neck in some pictures, and I thought you just started rowing crew.
You just bought a boat.
Yeah, that's it.
It's fashionable and functional for the temperature swings. They know what they're doing over there, let me tell you.
I love that that's a real thing over there. All right, amazing. Well, speaking of over there, let's get started moving down south. This weekend saw a huge shakeup in the U.S.-Canada trade war, except it also didn't, and I think we're right back where we started.
Woo!
Yeah. And it is all thanks to Canada's very own Wreck-It Ralph, Doug Ford. How inevitable was it that Doug would eventually cannonball right into the middle of this trading waiting pool?
It's inevitable as the panic attack I experience every time I see his name in print.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen. It's the same rhythm every time. It's this constant samey rhythm of it. And he is our Wreck-It Ralph, but he thinks he's Fix-It Felix. That's what frustrates me about him, is that he's like, I'm going to fix it. Meanwhile, everything's on fire. Like, you are the worst.
See, because I think the problem is that people are only used to this 2020s Doug Ford, who's all like, big man, little shovel, I'm baking cheesecakes. And they don't remember fucking 2012 dressed like a mob enforcer Doug Ford. on the news, like calling out the chief of police for investigating his brother like it's a WWE promo.
I don't even remember that, Doug Ford.
It was a sight to behold at the
wow.
time.
Yeah, they don't remember violent drug dealer Doug Ford. You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight off the streets of Etobicoke.
Yeah. Little Shovel really has thrown off the perspective, I think, of the populace for Doug Ford.
I mean, it's probably good that he's not violent drug running Doug Ford now, because otherwise Trump would probably just blow him up.
Well, he
and
hasn't
call
been,
it border security.
Well, he hasn't been in a speedboat yet. That's the only difference.
That's true.
If Doug gets within 100 meters of a speedboat, it is over for him. I can guarantee you that, the way that things are going down in the U.S.
He's going to get blown up by the U.S. military immediately, like by a drone or something.
Yes. Now, and here's the thing: we will be talking, I think, several things going on with Doug
very much so.
over the course of this. Is Doug dying and he needed to release all the evil from his body in 1 week?
It's been a big fucking week.
It seems like it was like 1 week where he was just like, you know what, open the floodgates, send out everything that I have. And I don't know if they were just waiting to see what got the most attention to cancel it and let it sneak through, or if it was I don't know what it is, but it is a lot of evil in 1 week.
I just think that we got lulled into a false sense of security, and we forgot what it was like when he was doing this all the time.
Pretty consistently.
Consistently.
You even like posting Beaverton articles. I was like, what photo do we use for Doug again? It's been several months. But yeah, anyway, the thing that we're starting off with here is this ad that Doug decided to put out of nowhere. So Doug, and I guarantee Doug did not come up with any of this. Someone smarter than Doug did this.
No.
Probably.
He thinks Reagan is a type of sandwich.
I mean, can I get a Reagan on rye? You know what? There's a rhythm to that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good sandwich. It's like a California sandwich that ends up costing you more than you think it will.
Oh, 1,000%.
It's a trickle-down sandwich. It's got mayonnaise running out of it. Right? So what they did was they put out this ad that they released down in the States. It was audio from Ronald Reagan's radio address to the nation on free and fair trade in 1987, where Reagan was all like, well, we're going to put 100% tariff on Japanese That's Reagan, right? That's close enough.
That's close enough. That's not bad.
Quimby, yeah.
Either way, interchangeable.
Yeah.
They were putting a tariff on Japanese electronics, but Reagan was like, tariffs are also bad and hurt America. But I'm doing them, but they're bad. And then Doug and the conservatives put this audio into an ad that had like one picture of Reagan and then pictures of like workers in grain and shit.
Yep.
And they aired it on American TV, mostly during like World Series games and stuff like that. And apparently someone showed Trump the ad early last week, and Trump was like, I don't know, man, I don't give a shit. I'd probably do the same bullshit. And then a couple days later, Trump was like, I hate this, and I'm tariffing their entire economy. So what do we think changed?
I think just probably Stephen Miller was whispering in his ear, being like, "They're mocking you, sir," like a greasy green of worm tongue.
That sounds like Stephen Miller.
Yeah, invade them, sir.
And I believe it would be a greasy worm tongue kind of getting in that ear, because the interesting thing I find about this is that it's the exact opposite of the normal speed and rhythm of Trump's reactions, which is normally mad immediately and then I see something shiny. So that tells me that like Trump's inherent reaction to something is immediate fury until a distraction shows up.
Yeah.
To think on something and come back mad is not in his MO or repertoire whatsoever. So I'm like, that is 1,000%. That is someone else's behavior that he is mirroring, because that's not who he has ever been or how his emotions have ever worked.
Which just goes to show that I'm just like, this was just an excuse to cancel trade talks with Canada.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
I think it was just a thing, like you're saying, Andrew. I think that because it was Ronald Reagan talking about actual tariff policy, Trump just heard it as white noise. Because he doesn't understand how they work or what they do. And hearing someone actually factually explain how they work, he was like, I don't give a shit about this.
Yeah.
And then someone had to be like, oh, sir, you should be very mad about this. How bad have things gotten that we're quoting Ronald Reagan in order to save jobs in the economy?
I give Doug Ford like a week before he's discussing how Reaganomics are going to save the Therme Spa. Like, that's how bad this is.
It's rough. It's rough out there when we're turning to Reagan at this point. It's just, it's not, I will say, as much as I hate really every step of everything that has occurred here.
Fair enough.
It was a pretty well edited spot where I was like, kudos to the creative company, which is an evil creative ad agency who pretty much mostly does conservative ads. But you know how like there's only two versions of a conservative ad. I think there's like two ad agencies they go to. There is the cheap one that makes conservative ads that look like they're from the show Detroiters. And then there is the really high quality one that actually knows what they're doing, and this was one of those.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that it functioned at everything the Conservative Party and Doug Ford wanted it to do. It worked as a distraction for all of the other evil things that they wanted to do. It made Doug look tougher in the eyes of Canada, and popularity is becoming a more and more important thing to him as well. So I think it did everything that they wanted to do, which grosses me out. I'm like, well executed?
Oh, yeah, that ad's going to win a Clio for sure.
Yeah.
He's going to be at the Canadian Screen Awards, guys. Fuck.
No, but you're totally right. And like even Doug said after they pulled the ad that he was like, it accomplished what I wanted it to. And I think it actually did.
Yeah.
Like it got a response and it got a rise out of Trump.
See, I heard that and I thought somebody got mad at him and told him to take it down because I don't know. This is complete speculation, but I just see him getting a late night call from Carney being like, take that shit down. He just canceled trade talks because of it. Like,
for one, this is a podcast, and this is the place for baseless speculation.
Yes.
And for two, totally agree.
I've got some high quality baseless speculation I'll be getting to in a little bit. So yes, I'm glad that we're setting a strong precedence for baseless speculation today. So I think it's definitely, but also I think they might have even planned that because I was reading an article about the creative copy like from the ad agency that did it.
Okay.
And it was kind of breaking down that it was a $75 million ad, but the news coverage alone of it has generated about $390 million worth of organic impressions and news coverage.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like, we tripled our budget, and by having it pulled, and some stations pulled it from us, it means that they're going to dispute and not be on the line for the $75 million it costs to air. So they may actually be able to get money back, and it made more money. So it's just this weird success and nothing but win for Ford's team.
it's going back to the taxpayer, right? It's coming right back to us, right?
I have more bad news for you, Claire.
Oh, no.
But yeah, no, for sure. Like I've seen lots of people online too, and granted, this might just be the waters I swim algorithmically in online, but lots of people sharing the original Reagan speech to be like, wait, is this what tariffs do? I pay these down in the States. So like, I don't know. Did Doug Ford teach someone something?
I think unintentionally, that might have occurred. That was definitely not the goal.
He might not know how to use a laptop, but by God, can that man explain Reagan?
Yes, or play a clip of it.
Yes.
Yeah, and it worked to the point that like so many people in Canada and the world are talking about this. Is that a couple other things that evil things that Doug has dropped and done this week? If you actively search for it, it is just getting suppressed in search algorithms. Like it is hard to find even using keywords coverage of some of the other things Doug did this week because international media outlets are so strongly covering the Reagan thing that if you search, like Doug Ford and Ontario water sale and clean water, it's like fifth page of search results, even when you use the correct terms.
Right.
So it's so hard to get the other valuable things that we might be talking about shortly because this was so just hugely covered.
Oh, wow. I definitely know who ended up wearing it this week, which was Mark Carney, who came out and said that apparently Canada was very close to making a trade deal before Doug's ad blew it up. It's not really common for someone to make the "I have a girlfriend, you wouldn't know her because she's in Canada" excuse when they're actually Canadian. Do we think that this trade deal he was close to actually existed at all?
And the girlfriend in this scenario is a trade deal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think maybe it existed in his mind.
Maybe.
I don't think Trump knows what's going on at this point. I don't think trade deals can exist in his current mental capacity. That might be overstating things.
No.
I might be being
right there
dramatic.
with you.
But that's just kind of how I feel. Every time they're like, "We're going to get a trade deal," I'm like, "No, you're not."
Well, that brings me to my next question. Like, is there a victory for Carney to have here? Or are our only options just surrender or fight?
Ooh, Yes, just yes.
I think so. I mean, I would prefer to fight, but I think that a lot of people would yell at me being like, that's not how economics work. And I'm like, that's true, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but those people aren't here, and it's not that kind of podcast.
Yay!
I honestly, I think there's victory, failure, and just also nothing here. It's so unpredictable to be like, to try to place any direct blame or correlation on Trump in so many scenarios feels like trying to like place blame or correlation on the weather.
Yeah.
To be like, you know what, I was actually just about to have a trade deal, but then it rained. It's like, and it wouldn't have rained if Doug didn't run that ad. It's like, actually, we have no idea minute to minute what any of this is going to play out as. It's impossible to make a plan. All we've got to do is just build a roof and hope that the weather doesn't change. Like, I don't think there's winning. I don't think there's losing. I think there's just preparing
and holding the roof up with our elbows.
Horror. Yeah.
But I mean, like, have we actually even seen elbows up yet?
Listen, I think at this point our elbows look like those slow motion videos of like a baseball pitcher's mid throw when you see them going and like their arm is like bending at an angle where it looks like it should be broken in 5 places. That's where our elbows are.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
You're like, elbows don't work like that. They should not work like that.
By the way, Claire is wearing 2 different baseball shirts right now.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
So I trust your judgment on that.
Oh my God, thank you.
At this point, our elbows are like in the Dark Knight Rises when that doctor is like, your knees have no cartilage anymore. Like, it's that of like, what have you been doing? Like, that's it. It's just elbows up is not a long-term plan.
No.
You just can't do that for that long.
But I did see that apparently this might be helping Canada a little bit, because right now there was a CNN poll that says Canada's net approval rating among Americans is at plus 49% and Trump's is at negative 10. Should Canada run for president?
I do like the idea that if we did and we won, each province would get to pick what states they want on their team, like a dodgeball kind of competition. Just line them up and like PEI is like, we get Maine. Florida will be picked last.
Yes.
PEI would get Maine. That would just make sense. That's the dynamic duo right there. PEI and Maine.
Lobsters.
That's a strong team. I like that team.
That is a strong team. Yeah. No, I like that. Now, if Canada were to run for the U.S. president, is Canada a man? If so, we could and win. And if Canada was a woman, I think they have shown us that they would still then put us down to a minus 59 in poll ratings.
Oh, no. Do we have to ask Quebec if Canada is masculine or feminine?
That's going to really lose the American vote as well.
Oh, that has so many layers to it.
Yeah. Learning that Romance languages have preferred pronouns is actually really going to ruin America against us pretty quickly.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Bonjour, we are Canada. My pronouns are he, him. Get the fuck out, you woke lib.
And then South Dakota just blows itself up just to escape. Well, we've danced around it a little bit. We brought up Doug Ford earlier, but we are not done with him, or rather, he is not done with us.
Someday he will. Or we will.
Until he gets turned into a robot and rules Ontario forever.
Why do you say this to me? I'm already broken enough. I watched 6 hours of baseball last night.
Yeah, Claire's a little loopy, guys. Not gonna lie. So, like, did Doug just miss being in Beaverton headlines? Because we've had a lot of material on him.
He's just sitting at his desk being like, wow, it's been 2 weeks since Claire's come up with 10 different ways to call me a dick.
We definitely assume he knows us all by name, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think they're just trying to wear you out. That's what it is. It's a war of attrition now, where it's like if we can fire so many things at the Beavertons so quickly that they can't respond, maybe they'll all get real tuckered.
They have day jobs. What are they going to do? Write articles all the time? Yes.
Yes, Doug.
Yes.
And if there's one person who doesn't have a day job, it's Doug Ford. So first, last week, he came out swinging against Ticketmaster for letting all the Blue Jays playoff tickets immediately get snapped up by scalpers. His own government were the ones who axed a law meant to limit ticket resellers in 2019. Do we think Doug was lying or honestly forgot?
I am not willing to give this man any benefit of any doubt at this point. If he's like, oh, I forgot. No, of course he didn't forget. Of course he didn't forget. He's just hoping that we did.
I think it's possible that it's both. I know I've been towing a real middle line for a lot of this episode so far, but I think that it's possible that he did not remember a previous shitty thing that he did and just started saying stuff. Yeah, but if they don't bring it to his attention, fair enough. They would know. They would know. Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's just gaslighting all over the place. I think he's just really hoping that we don't remember, or that we do remember, but him bringing back the law will mollify us enough that he's not going to catch any shit for it.
Yeah, I think maybe it's that as well. And it's just such a strong embodification of hot dog meme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of just like, we're all looking for the guy who did this, but he's holding a press conference about the hot dog cart crash, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's also that thing where like the damage is done. It's not like he can get the tickets back or anything like that. It's like, I'm very mad about this thing that I didn't do anything to stop and can't.
I'll totally fix it sometime, you guys. Maybe the next time the Blue Jays go to the World Series.
Exactly. And it's like by the time that he needs to follow up on it, the passion and anger will have cooled off, and then he can just kind of fade away into the background, which is the strategy so much, the fade into the bushes idea.
Yeah, exactly. And then moving on from that, Ford did what I'm going to vote as my evil Ford thing of the week. This was where he floated the idea of destroying the last few remaining scraps of rent control that Ontario has. There's this big omnibus bill that they've got. It's called the Fighting Delays Building Faster Act. They're all so stupid. I hate these names. Not that I have to have poetic names or something like that, but like something with a little zip, guys.
Fighting Delays Building Faster. It doesn't roll off the tongue. I hate it.
Yeah, no, not at all. Clunky. Don't like it. Would amend. Anyway, so this changes the Residential Tenancies Act. It would end rent control and end indefinite leases across the province. There's also no compensation for landlords evicting tenants. If a landlord claims past due rent or additional costs, tenants have to pay 50% of that before they can even get a hearing at the Landlord-Tenant Board. How much would this fuck Ontario?
Ruin. Like it would make Ontario unlivable for any working class whatsoever.
Yes.
I mean, the difference between the percentile difference between renters and owners has already become a chasm in Toronto. So then if you remove the ability of renters to exist, who lives here? Like what would the handful of homeowners expect to even be restaurant servers? Who is doing any day-to-day task? Who is any working class? So the majority of renters, it's just like, run or stay until you're obliterated, basically, would be the new ideal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like hope you enjoy moving back in with your parents at 45 or whatever. It's I have rarely been so angry. Like I've been angry with Ford a lot. But this, like you said, it just felt evil. It was disgusting. I was so mad. I was angry. I was just like, as somebody who has like a good day job, even that I couldn't afford to pay rent. Like if they canceled my rent control and I would have to pay, the average 1-bedroom apartment rental, I couldn't do it.
Of course not.
It's fucked. And like, I'm really proud of us for all kind of banding together and fighting back about it. And that was great. But like, yeah, I saw it and my heart dropped out of my chest. I'm not going to lie. And all of my friends were the same thing. We were all just kind of sitting on the internet, just being like, what do we do?
Yeah.
This is going to ruin all of our lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he doesn't care.
Does not care one bit.
And the people who vote for him have houses.
Yes.
And they don't care.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well,
I have no jokes for this. I'm just mad.
But it's like the people who own houses are mostly people who are like, well, I used to rent an apartment and it was what, like $50? It's fine.
Yeah.
And they don't.
You just got to work harder, Ian. You got to work harder.
Yeah, and it's just that thing of like people don't realize that like a 1-bedroom apartment right now in this city is what, like $2,000 a month?
Oh,
More.
22. I would say
25?
22.
I'd put it closer to 25, personally.
Depending on where you are in the city.
Yeah. Well, like I would say that, like, to give a number wise, I know that we've been living in the place that we're in for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And in that time, we have worked harder and made more money. But if we moved out and back in, this would cost 2 to 3 times the cost that it did. So it's like we've done better in the past 10 years and have constantly improved and worked harder and made more money. And it wasn't 2 to 3 times the amount of money. Like who has had that kind of windfall in the past 10 years?
And like that's not
Doug
even
Ford's donors?
Yes,
that's not
that is
even
true.
to say that like now landlords are asking for 5 months rent up front, and if you don't want to pay it, that's too bad. Somebody else will. So it's not even the $2,200 a month. It's like, do you have 10 grand on hand to just give your landlord?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't.
And the idea of dropping these protections, and it's the same thing with every protection that gets dropped under this administration. It is the same thing to kind of refer back to Ticketmaster a moment ago. Mm-hmm. It's the yes, if we drop these protections, it said that we could do unspeakable evils, but we promise we won't.
Ooh, we're not that bad.
We wouldn't dare. And it's the exact same thing that happened with the Ticketmaster stuff, where it was like, well, yes, Ticketmaster then I guess could use StubHub to buy up all of its own tickets and resell it at 180 times the cost of previously. But what if we promised we really wouldn't? And now it's the exact same thing with Rant, where they're just like, yeah, but why would we be that evil? It's like, because you are and would be. And the only reason to drop the protections is so you can, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, because you're talking about these like tens of thousands of apartments that are sitting unused because landlords don't want to get bad tenants, or they want to, they don't want to have to worry about rent control. And it's like, well, then they can go fuck themselves. They shouldn't be landlords. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be landlords. Like, don't go into landlording if you're afraid that you're going to get a bad tenant.
Well, and it's also the thing of, if you're afraid if you're going to get a bad
landlording
tenant.
Is a
landlording, that's a word,
now.
no, for sure. I majored in landlording at community college. There's not much to it. It's mostly just doing a bad job. But the landlord-tenant board, where these things get adjudicated, is chronically underfunded. And who's been in office for the last, million years, it feels like? The conservatives, who don't do anything to fix the circumstances that they say are the problem. It's so predictable and it's frustrating. But I've lived in Toronto for 21 years now. When I moved here, I rented one bedroom in an apartment for $500.
Yeah, my first one was $375. It was a 2-bedroom, so the whole thing was like $750.
That's wild in retrospect.
Gross basement, but still.
Yeah.
2-bedroom, basement apartment.
Yeah, I spent, I'd say, probably like a decade doing like $500 to $600 for sure. Yeah, and having good space.
Wow.
Yeah, and that is obliterated at this point. Gone.
Oh yeah, gone. I look back at the apartment. I've been in my apartment for 11 years now, and I can never leave. But the one I was in before that was the shadiest basement apartment of all time. Like, the pot lights flickered. There were electrical issues. It was still only $900. The house is demolished now, but it would probably be It would probably be going for $2,000.
Demolished or collapsed in on itself?
Oh, good point. It was occupied by the 3 lovely Irish gents above me who like to party, so everything's on the table there. Shout out to you guys.
And the beauty of rent control is that as everything becomes unaffordable and miserable because the city is 4 corporations in a trench coat, it is, if you find a nice place and you stay there and it's reasonable, even if it's lovely, it kind of sucks. It's still a prison. You get stuck in a prison of our own creation, and I'm in that right now. I love the place that I'm in, but it's even the nicest prison is still a prison. And Doug Ford is trying to drop protections in a way where it's like, what if we evicted you from your prison and then put you into a smaller prison that cost more?
With roommates.
Now you have roommates in your. It's like, no, this actually is kind of the opposite direction of where we were hoping to go for a lot of this stuff.
Well, maybe we could vote Doug Ford out, but then the Conservatives are also going to change the election rules.
Woo-hoo!
That's the next thing that they announced. Apparently, they have, I think it's part of this omnibus bill as well. I might be wrong about that. They're raising the donation limits by 47%. They're scrapping the fixed election dates, so now Doug gets just decide election dates whenever is convenient for him. Do we even have an opposition anymore?
I think at this point, our opposition party is just the people who send him angry emails on social media.
It's us?
We're doing our best.
Okay.
It's Claire. It's just Claire.
It's me.
I did not expect you to be so jazzy about it.
Real Fosse energy there.
Yeah, I was expecting it would be more like it's you, but in a dirty, die-hard tank top with blood and shit on it.
I'm trying real hard to cover
me.
The pain right now. It's got to be jazz hands, buds.
Ho, 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 motherfuckers, it's me.
Claire's playing with pain right now. It's something to watch. But, the Liberals right now, they are currently led by TBD and have a leadership convention planned for someday. The Liberals are pretty much a non-entity at this point. Are we expecting them to come back anytime?
I routinely, and people will make fun of me for this, I routinely forget who the Liberal leader is.
There isn't one right now.
Yes, but you know what I mean? Who?
But even when there is, who is it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you forget such megawatt political charismatic talents as Bonnie Crombie and Stephen Del Duca and whoever was before that?
I did forget Del Duca very hard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. But I look forward to writing in TBD on my next voting, on my next ballot.
It's just wild to me that we cannot come up with an answer for Doug. We cannot come up with a single person who is good enough or willing to take him on. It's wild. And I mean, I don't want to do it. I cry at conflict. But, like, there must be someone out there who has, like, some political acumen and
The idea
more
of someone
charisma.
having a backbone, and they don't have that. They just don't have that. They don't make those anymore.
Or they'll lose it. But, like,
Yeah.
we need it. Yeah.
Like you're asking for something that's just not manufactured in Ontario anymore. It's like, why don't we have lead pipes? Like, it's just not put asbestos in the walls. We just don't have there's no politician with a backbone.
Right.
You know,
So
it is
you're
just
saying
all.
The next Liberal leader needs to be asbestos. I think that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
it's a scarecrow made of pure asbestos.
Yeah, poisonous but flame retardant. You know what I mean? Like, it can hold up to the fires of Doug Ford. The metaphors coming together.
Ooh, I like
it's
that.
all
Love
working.
Love it. We'll carry a lead pipe for unknown reasons.
Yeah, to represent the bond between the poisons of carrot and stick.
I like that.
Still more effective than Bonnie.
Yeah, and
Well-
that's the new Liberal leader.
There's also Marie
Asbestos
Stiles.
scarecrow.
There's also Marie Stiles and the NDP. Moving on. Apparently, the last evil thing.
I look forward to editing in cricket sounds later to this.
This is the fun of recording with your producer. This is
That's
fantastic. So apparently, Doug is also going to privatize Ontario's water.
See, I have not heard about this.
This is
I'm
a pretty
sorry,
new
what?
one. This was proposed by the Ministry of Red Tape Reduction, which just sounds downright
Stop.
Orwellian. I promise I didn't make that up.
Sounds like the Canadian Doge.
So we got a new Walkerton crisis dropping in 2026.
I have nothing to say. I have not heard of this.
Yeah, they want to
privatizing our water. Like
not so much privatizing, but they want the government to centralize more control over how it's governed.
the
and-
lakes or like.
all
drinking
all
water.
drinking water, the ability to sell and trade without public consultation
That's it.
and without any feedback whatsoever and without having any public record of what the deal would be. So
We
it's
can just sell our water to
just
whoever,
back
it
to
doesn't matter.
Oregon and what and
like off the back of a truck.
And to be fair, a lot of it's already gone to Nestle. Like, Ontario has lost this fight for a long time, but this now makes it a shadier fight. Now, earlier, to call it back, when we were talking about just unfounded speculation that when we were dropping that,
this.
and I was
Yes,
like, I'm
bring on the
excited to drop
conspiracy
my
theories.
unfounded conspiracy theory speculation later. I think that this is, and the way it is all phrased and formatted to be like, it can be sold without public consultation, what it is used for, and not sold or bottled, what it is used for can be done without public consultation. I think that they are setting up to sell to and develop some kind of an AI farm and to use the water supply for that. I think that's going to be Doug's next development friend project of the, like, all of my developer buddies are going to work on an AI farm and we need a huge water source and we cannot have the public say no to that. So if we put a law in now that says that we can privately sell without public consultation and also with no First Nations consultation water supplies, then we can sell it to an AI farm for the massive water usage that those require.
I mean, we're already building AI AI across
That's what
the
we talked about
country.
last
Yeah.
week. That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this, I think, might be a step towards that, to be like, well, they're going to need a huge water supply. How do we do that without the public having the ability to shut that down?
Can
Well-
the public shut that down, though? I don't see any opposition to the AI stuff going on right now and needing
It's
the
not
water.
being talked about enough. It's still so
That's
early.
fair. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not sure. I'm all for conspiracy theories. Though,
Yeah.
so, like,
I think by the time
that's
it comes
completely
that they
fair.
need the water, then someone
Yeah.
might, then the public might be upset come that time.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a conspiracy theory. I think that is just you predicted the future. That's distressingly accurate.
I wanted to get it on record in case I'm right. You know, when you're like, I might be right about this. Let's get this recorded somewhere.
Yeah, well, you heard it here first, folks. All of your drinking water in Ontario is getting sold by Doug Ford to Microsoft, who are building giant data centers in Ontario. I know that there's one going in Etobicoke right now.
Yeah.
So it all connects.
Yeah. And then just for our friend and usual host Luke Gordon Field, allegedly, speculatively. These are just my own personal speculative opinions and do not represent any kind of the legal or permanent opinions of the Beaverton or its subsidiaries or ownership.
Well, okay, let's get the hell out of Ontario.
Please, I can't take any more of this. I can't.
And let's move our focus over to Newfoundland. Newfoundland recently had an election, a provincial election, and we forgot to cover it because we're way too Toronto-focused here on the Beaverton. So we're going to play a bit of catch-up. But we are going to start with Clare and myself because Andrew is actually from Newfoundland.
Hello.
Clare, what do you and I know about Newfoundland?
Okay, I know a few fun facts about Newfoundland.
Shoot.
The Flat Earth Society considers it one of the 4 corners of the world.
Outstanding.
How about that?
That's I didn't know that. I like that.
Amazing.
Yeah. And my other fun fact is that it used to be its own country and has its own time zone. And it's like, such a pick-me. Like, oh my God, you're not like other provinces. You're so cool. Shut the fuck up, Newfoundland.
We're 30 minutes different. We're like a little different from the other girls.
Awesome.
It's also being a halftime zone is also makes it so specifically like please pay attention.
Yeah.
It's not a 1 hour difference.
I got bangs.
We're like a little 30-minute. It is the 30-minute time zone is the bangs of time zone. I fully agree with this take.
So dumb.
That's how you, if you're talking to a bunch of people abroad, though, and you want to find out who the Canadians are, you say, this is happening at 8 o'clock, 8:30 in Newfoundland, and you see who laughs.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
The only things I know
Also,
about...
you've shown your hand of being from Halifax that you said 8 o'clock, 8:30 Newfoundland time, and not 7 o'clock, 8:30 Newfoundland time, which is what it would be for where we are.
That is my East Coast bias. The only things I know about Newfoundland are it's where Alexander Graham Bell did his cool transatlantic phone call and something called Jig's Dinner. End of list. That's a really cool, like, boiled dinner thing that you do that feeds a bunch of people that we also do in Cape Breton, but I think we stole it from Newfoundland.
Yeah, and you also know and have written about mummers.
Oh, mummers.
Which are truly haunting.
The Canadian Purge. Where people go door to door and put on weird pillowcase masks. Oh, I heard the
What if
funniest...
the Purge looked more racist? Is something that Newfoundland dare asks.
I heard a story from a producer one time because we were talking about like Canadian horror movies, and they were saying how they had made a home invasion like horror movie that was going to be set in Newfoundland with mummers, and I was like, that's a great idea. That's a natural regional idea. And then they were like, but the problem is that we cast like a multiracial person as the woman who's trapped in the house. And then it didn't occur to us until we got on set and saw a bunch of people in white sheets over their heads trying to break into her house that this took on different overtones.
Yeah.
And caused production problems. They had to think of that one on the fly to make it not a hate crime.
Well, good luck to them. Good. How you do that, I don't know. I hope the production worked out just fine.
Excellent. Andrew, were we close at all?
Those are all things. I didn't even know the 4 corner thing. I think that's a fun little fact.
I thought that was so cool.
I haven't been keeping up with the 4 Corner Society, so I didn't know that. But I think that's fun and great.
Don't lie to us, Andrew. We know that you're a giant flat earther.
Things can only be flat.
I only knew and I also just knew come from away and all that kind of stuff, and how come from away, that it's actually kind of a derogatory term in Newfoundland. Like, it's not good to be a come from away. Yeah, that's what I've heard from my fellow East Coast, my East Coast friends. They're like, yeah, come from away is something kind of like, they're come from away. Like, they don't understand.
You know what? If I can buy into that. That might be like a Bayman expression, and I'm a townie. I'm from St. John's, and like I have not heard that with those connotations before. But I could easily buy into that. I am the urban elite. I'm from a city with over 100,000 people.
Ooh.
So hold on to your hats, gander.
So in this recent election that they had, apparently it had been 10 years of liberal rule in Newfoundland, and that got flipped. The Liberals, they are out of power now. What do we got here? We got so previously it was a real thing of in Newfoundland, Conservatives tended to vote with the cities. They tended to get their votes in St. John's, but the Liberals got all their votes in the rural areas. Liberals in NDP, but they don't really count. So Newfoundland is kind of like the bizarro voting pattern of everywhere else in the country.
I mean, I kind of feel like that's how it should be. I know I've talked before in the podcast about how like the NDP should be targeting the country and the rural areas and all that kind of stuff, and like unions and farm workers and things like that. So, I mean, you can obviously argue that people in cities are more left-wing, but I don't know, that kind of makes sense to me.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. And when you say like unions and farm workers, it'd be like, fisheries and native resource industries within Newfoundland. Yeah. And then also it's like being the corner of the earth. That's obviously where things start to flip around because of it. So that's why we're the opposite.
Oh, it's the polarization.
It's the polar. It's
magnets.
Yep.
It's magnets.
It's the polar corner. Magnets are real. Circles aren't, but magnets are real.
Oh
so that's
my
why.
How do they work?
God,
That's
we
why it flips
cracked
around.
it.
That's why it flipsy doodles on you in Newfoundland.
So it did flipsy doodle in this election. We had the Conservative getting 44% of the popular vote. The Liberals got 43% of the popular vote, which of course means whopping Conservative majority. Because that's how these seats work.
Yep.
I don't know the math on this. I'm not the math guy. Don't look at me. I'm not on CBC in front of a big interactive map.
Too late. We call you the math guy every time we talk about you.
It's the one thing I'm sensitive
Andrew,
about.
the math guy.
It's an audio podcast. You could have lied and said there was a big map behind you.
You know what? Me? Edit all this out later. So that it was like just the smallest possible margin for a majority as well. That like it was lower than the theoretical predicted margin for a majority.
It's like margin of error, exactly.
Yeah. That they were like, well, it would need to be a like 44.5%, and it was like 43.8%, and they were like, that somehow did it, and like no one even mathematically expected that thin of a margin to have that big of a difference.
Is that going to cause recounts and stuff like that? Are they going to be doing those?
Well, there actually is one. There's one seat. There's a Liberal MPP. No, it's not MPP there. It's like MHP or something like that, because 8:30 in Newfoundland.
Because they're the quirky pick-me girl.
There you go. It's Lewisport Twillingate, which I promise is not a Lewis Carroll poem. There was a Liberal, Derek Bennett. He wants a recount because he lost his seat by 18 votes. He said that on election day there were extraordinary circumstances. What counts as extraordinary circumstances in Newfoundland?
I think 18 votes in this scenario.
Yeah.
I love dropping that expression with no follow-up as well, because even journalists were like, what do you mean by that? And he was just like, bye. Like there was no follow-up as to what he meant. And I'm going to start doing that on a day-to-day basis. I show up late to something and be like, there were extraordinary circumstances.
But what? But what were those circumstances?
Well, it was good seeing you, Claire. Bye.
Oh, man, you got me again. Can't argue with that.
Amazing.
Yeah, just extraordinary. And 18 is wild.
That's
though.
brutal.
18 is wild.
That's a brutal loss.
Yeah, if you're a couple of families away, like if you're just like, if just the Best Buy was closed that day and all the employees
I was
got
going
to
to say
vote.
the McGillicuddies just stayed home. They got sick.
Yeah.
And
They were having a family. They were having a Jigs dinner that night,
Yeah,
so they didn't come out.
exactly.
Yeah, and turnout was also quite low
Yes.
as well, which really sucks and you hate to see. Like, it's one where it's kind of hard to notice because it is a statistical increase in voter turnout because the last vote was kind of during peak COVID times. So it was like, that last vote was a historical low. And now this is a little improved, but it's still less than any pre-COVID vote for a long time. So it's not good numbers. 18 people definitely could have and did not show up for that particular vote,
Unless it was 18 people that he'd wronged personally.
Ooh, interesting.
Coordinated revenge. It sounds like there wasn't a ton of voting enthusiasm in what I've read about this last election. You had John Hogan, who had been premier for like a hot minute. He was only premier for like most of the year because Andrew Fury had stepped down earlier in the year. He was expected to run again, but then he was like, actually, peace. This guy's going to do it. And then that guy got shellacked. So it sounds like Andrew Fury kind of knew something that the rest of them didn't.
Yeah. When to leave. He knew how to headline,
Went out on a high note, you mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Apparently, so the premier of Ontario right now is Tony Wakeham. He's in there for the PCs.
You mean Newfoundland, but...
Oh, okay.
What did I say?
You said Ontario.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, God damn it. Doug Ford's getting back at me
I was going
again.
to say it's wishful thinking on our part.
And people say the Beaverton is too Ontario-centric. Newfoundland. Tony Wakeham's premier in Newfoundland. The PCs ran on fixing healthcare, public safety. They said that we need to improve what has been called the worst healthcare system in Canada. It can't be that bad, can it?
There's some problems.
Okay.
Here's another. And I use the term fun in air quotes statistic. Oh my God, I am the math guy. Math Andrew, he's here with the math. That's a theme song that I'll play later.
Craig Fay was here for science last week. Andrew's here for math this week.
That's right. Here it comes. There was an article that I was reading. They have a real problem with young nurses leaving the province.
Yes.
Where they were like nurses under 35. It's a tough job, and there's a lot of moving around. And I think across Canada, on average, it's like 40 out of 100 nurses either move somewhere else or change professions under the age of 35. In Newfoundland, it was 98 out of 100 nurses move or change professions before the age of 35. So it is hemorrhaging an educated healthcare workforce. And because of that, it's just everyone who remains, it's a minimal workforce that is overworked, highly stressed, and on a razor's edge of breaking at any given moment.
And with an aging population.
And with a highly aging population, like Newfoundland, I think this past year, Newfoundland and Labrador broke the record of like 25% of the population is over 65, which is the highest of any province ever in Canada. So it's like a record for the oldest population with the most young people moving away and the fewest healthcare workers remaining. So, as for, it always sucks when a politician says something like, it's just like, this is the worst healthcare. Because like those are such loaded sentiments where it's like there are doctors and nurses who are absolutely busting their ass and are overworked and overburdened and underfunded every minute of the day. But there are definitely a powder keg of problems and situations going on in Newfoundland and Labrador right now.
Oh, it sounds like it. I'll tell you, I'm scared for how many nurses they're losing. I'm more scared of those 2 nurses that stayed. They must be fucking carved from granite, those 2. Imagine how tough you have to be the last 2 standing out of 100.
I want that movie.
It's like The Pit on HBO, except in Newfoundland.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I would watch the hell out of that.
Just the Hunger Games, but of nurses. Just 2 came out firing arrows. Absolute brick shit houses.
Oh my God, they're both named Deb.
They're both 60.
Yep, you can't fuck with either of them.
No, if a doctor dares to say anything to them, that doctor's dead. That doctor's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, he ain't gonna survive. So obviously we can't, another big thing in the Newfoundland election this time, we can't talk about mentioning the Churchill Falls power plant. Ivimey, you're our regional expert. What do you think about the Churchill Falls power plant?
Oh, well, I know some things now about it because I've had to look it up this election. Listen, I am a bad Newfoundlander in many regards. I live in Toronto and I go back for weddings and funerals. In many ways, I am shameful. And one thing my entire life living in Newfoundland before I had moved away is that the Churchill Falls power plant has been a political landmine for literally my whole lifespan. And I spent all of my life not really learning anything about it, but always feeling insecure that I knew nothing about it. So anytime someone brought it up in Newfoundland, I'd go, oh man, that situation's fucked, huh? And everyone would just go, yeah, he gets it. And then I would just kind of bow out of the conversation. Perfect. To be like, those are some extraordinary circumstances. Bye. And I would leave. And it turns out that worked for me. It worked for Derek Bennett. And just call things extraordinary circumstances.
For the uneducated amongst us, aka me, what is this?
A massive power plant that has been around since or at least under construction since pre-Newfoundland joining Confederation.
Okay.
That shares power between Newfoundland and Quebec. Quebec, and Quebec paid a lot of all, I think, of the construction costs. And now there is a huge debate as to like who should get the power and for what cost per kilowatt.
Because
Spicy.
Quebec gets the power, but they get it super cheap. It's like 0.02 kilowatt hours or something like that.
Wow.
Or
Yes.
like cents per kilowatt hour or something.
And when it was constructed when like the deals for construction were started in the 50s, it was like how many light bulbs could we even have in the future?
5?
And it was like, what if Quebec had a permanent deal for 3 cents per dickety kilowatts? And now let's give them let's do a 50-year contract because that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's just one where it's just anyone on Quebec's side involved hates everyone from Newfoundland. Everyone from Newfoundland is mad at Quebec, and it's just become this cross-border absolute problem to the point where the previous administration before this election reached an MOU, a memorandum of understand
this
which
is
is
where it gets
basically just
really
a
murky.
which is just, it's not a new contract. It's just kind of a like, everyone be cool. But like, it's like a 50-year handshake agreement. And now with the new administration, the old administration is being like, please don't fuck this up. Generations have been born and died and are still mad about this power plant.
Well, this is what I love, that Andrew Fury, when he was premier, was like, don't worry, everybody. I came up with this memorandum of understanding. No, you can't know what's in it. Trust me, it's going to be awesome.
Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. It's fine. Also, I'm stepping down immediately. Goodbye.
Yeah. I signed it with a thumbs up emoji. See you later.
We pinky swore on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you please run on this, John Hogan. No, I'm not going to tell you what's in it.
And no, I'm not coming back, even though I said I would. I'm sure this will hold up.
I'm leaving and I'm taking my 5 light bulbs with me.
Yep. So I think that's going to be a big thing coming through the new administration over there. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like the new premier is like, we maybe want to look at this.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's going to Jenga topple the entire thing.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it's always that it's always that political move that someone will come in and be like, I have a bold idea. What if we weren't getting fucked? And it's like, well, but you also agreed to get fucked. And it's like, we sure did. And now I'm mad about it. It's like, there's a lot. It's just everyone's a loser on every side.
And that's Newfoundland, everybody.
Yay!
We did it. Well, on that note, thank you very, very much for listening to the Beaverton Weekly Report this week. We really appreciate your ears being here. Please, on your podcast app of choice, maybe leave us a review. Maybe like a nice review. I don't know. Or tell a friend. Post about it on social media. And definitely leave us a comment about what you'd like us to be talking about on the Beaverton Weekly Report. We're very curious to hear what you guys have to say about it. We actually got a couple of really nice comments last week on Blue Sky. Vicky373 said, my comment here is more Craig Fay. Absolute delight, that man. Perfect substitute teacher energy.
Aw, he is a delight.
He does have that energy.
Yeah.
She says, it just feels like if he found out your normal teacher was misgendering you, he'd have his first ever parking lot fist fight over that.
Aww.
Which got really weirdly specific, but is still a lovely sentiment.
That is a nice sentiment.
I hope he's heard that.
Yeah, well, we'll pass that along to Craig. We also had Ripper from Saskatchewan. I don't know. I assume that that's his real name, is given name. I don't know. He has more Saskatchewan facts. He said that Saskatchewan is Canada's sunniest province. It averages 2,000 to 2,500 hours of sunshine annually, which sounds good. And apparently, there's a lake, Little Manitou Lake. It's a small salt lake that has a salinity about half that of the Dead Sea. So bathers can float in it very easily. I did not realize Canada had our own Dead Sea.
Oh, good job,
that's cool.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Ripper. I did not know any of that. So we do have a Patreon as well. You want to check that out, patreon.com/thebeaverton for as little as $4 a month. You get extended episodes. You get discounts on merch. You get exclusive articles, polls, quizzes, things that we do on there. So please check it out. We really like hearing from everybody. And now it is time for the approximately 10-minute long quiz.
It's the approximately 10-minute long quiz. Brought to you by Time.
All right. This week for the approximately 10-minute long quiz, I thought about making it Halloween themed, and then that was hard, and I gave up. So these are just regular questions.
Learn your lesson,
The
kids.
motto of the Beaverton.
If it's hard, give up. Or go to Bear Creek River. Or what is the place?
What?
What is the name of the place? That Polyev had to go to, the second ride.
Battle River Crowfoot.
Battle River Crowfoot. Thank you.
Go there and win an easy-to-win election.
Yeah.
Thank
The other
you.
one
My
was
brain
too
shut
hard.
down for a second. I had some similar nouns.
It was in there. It was all
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
All right. This week, cashiers at a Fresh Coast supermarket in Toronto are making headlines after wearing what item during their shifts?
I'm just gonna dig deep into my entire lifetime of customer service fantasy and say tasers.
Ooh, I like Claire, have you had some rough times working customer service?
13 years as a server, baby. I could have used a taser so many times.
Oh my God, you could be one of those 2% of Newfoundland nurses. You'd be tough enough.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I'd love that. I would say from my also decades of retail trauma of working customer service, I would say a properly fitting uniform, which would be shocking to see because store uniforms are made in two sizes. It's too small or fuck you big. Those are the two sizes that uniforms are produced in by the manufacturers. So if there was a properly fitting shirt anywhere, that would be headline worthy for me.
I have definitely also had to tuck a double XL men's shirt into
yeah.
my waistband
Oh, yeah.
in order just to wear work a shift. I'm going to give a half point to Claire because the actual answer to this is that at the Fresh Coast supermarket they're wearing body cams.
Oh, dang!
Yes.
For their own safety?
For their own safety.
I hate that. I mean, I love that for them, but also fuck people who make
it's
make
terrible.
the lives of customer service people.
This
bad.
is at apparently one specific Fresh Coast supermarket. It's like Sherburne and Dundas or something like that here in Toronto, which is a rough neighborhood, admittedly. But yeah, it's gotten so bad for them that they have to wear body cams at all times.
Oh my God.
There is no amount of pay that these people can be making to justify that.
Well, that's good because they don't make enough.
Yeah, I mean, one
They're
of
not
my
going to pay them much at all.
One of my other ideas, because I'm like, you don't wear it, but like a living wage, that would be headline worthy if they had that on a daily basis. Just from a logistical perspective, we shouldn't be at a point where they have to do that at all. But also from a logistical perspective, you don't need body cams in a fixed environment. Can't we just have cameras? Wouldn't a camera do for someone who's behind a counter? It's just kind of the one angle that you need to cover all day.
Store cameras don't record audio, though, do they?
I mean, I guess you could just buy one that does.
I guess they could.
I guess, but that is so many hours of footage, and I feel like I don't know how cameras now work.
I want to know who's editing all this footage.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a lot to scrub through.
Interesting.
All right, back to Newfoundland. A recent organized crime bust found $10,000 in what high-value item?
Mary Brown's Big Mary sandwiches.
Ooh, those sound delicious. What kind of sandwich is that?
It's just like a big motherfucker with some chicken in it.
Dope.
Yeah, Newfoundland just loves Mary Brown's. It's I think there's only like one KFC left in Newfoundland. They can't. Mary Brown's decimates KFC for chicken in
Damn,
Newfoundland.
it's like the last Blockbuster.
A little bit, yeah.
I
So,
love that for
a
them.
Mary Brown's Big Mary is what I'm gonna say.
All right, what are you thinking, Claire? $10,000 in?
I'm going to say come from away tickets.
Wait, did they have that show there?
In Newfoundland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Maybe.
I would imagine.
Yeah, they brought it to Gander.
They did. Oh, okay,
There we
they
go.
did. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Well, the actual answer is Lululemon pants. Apparently, investigators...
So 5 pairs.
It's actually only 90.
Yeah.
And I did the math, and I was like, Jesus, that's real expensive.
Yeah.
They're very, very valuable. But investigators tracked thieves down to a home where they found 90 pairs of activewear pants, 3 pellet guns, a high-velocity paintball gun, 2 crossbows, and ammunition.
I want to meet this person. I want to know what their game plan is.
They had ideas.
They did.
I know this type.
They're going to call
I may not know this exact Kevin, but I know this type.
This is
It's
Lulu's
Kevin.
11.
Yeah.
Outstanding. All right, residents of Detroit, Michigan are celebrating Halloween at what fully automated local business?
A car wash?
Omni Consumer Corporation's RoboCop charging station.
I want to give it to Andrew, but the point goes to Claire because it was a car wash.
Was it? Oh.
They are celebrating Halloween at the Tunnel of Terror, which is a combination like haunted house / car wash.
Sometimes your windows go down and you can't control it.
Yeah, they have like spooky clowns wandering around, like knocking on your windows while you're waiting in line to go into the car wash, and then you just go in a car wash.
Incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That also implies, what was the name of it?
The Tunnel of Terror. The Fast Splash Car Wash, Tunnel of Terror.
Tunnel of Terror. Well, that tells me that they could also do just like a Tunnel of Love for February. Like
God.
It says that they
You have 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Go.
The Tunnel of Christmas of Santa's
Babe,
workshop.
I planned a real romantic night for us.
It's like 7 minutes in heaven, it's 30 seconds in the car wash.
Full detailing, babe. Full detailing.
You come out of the car wash, your car's clean, but the windows are fogged up on the inside.
Oh, perfect.
Oh. That's a good way to celebrate. Yeah. All right, and our last question here. Police in Orlando, Florida were called to eject which unruly citizen who was trespassing in an apartment hallway?
Listen, I think the obvious joke here is for us to say alligator, but I want us to be better because we're the Beaverton. So I'm going to say a sentient bag of meth.
Okay. Florida resident, noted sentient bag of meth.
Yep.
All right, cool.
I was going to say Ron DeSantis, just wandering the halls, looking for donations for his wife's fake charity or whatever.
Governor Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, canvassing.
Just getting kicked out. Well, the answer is that the Beaverton is not better. It was an alligator.
Oh, wow. All right.
Florida, will you ever change?
No, never change, baby. Never change.
Florida
I love you just the way you are.
I want to know how the elevator got upstairs into the hallway.
Yeah. Yeah. It can press some buttons on the elevator, right?
I guess so now.
Well, it gets in the elevator, and then someone on a higher floor hits like down, and then it sends the alligator up.
That's clever.
Right.
Yeah.
Clever Florida alligators. Clever girl.
Ding! That Jurassic Park scene, but a soft ding in the background as an elevator opens. Perfect.
Not again. All right. Well, that is the end of the approximately 10-minute long quiz, and our winner by a landslide is Claire. All right, Claire, where can the people find you online?
You can find me at my YouTube channel at It's Clare Blackwood or on Blue Sky under my name.
Excellent. I love that. Ivimey, where can the nice people find you online?
You can find me most places at Ivimey, Ivimey. I also host a film and television podcast called Talk from Superheroes, where we talk about nerdy TV and film. And if you're in the Halifax area, I'm going to be performing a headlining show at Good Robot November 7th in Halifax. I'm going to be in town for Halifax Comic Con. I'll be moderating the panels there during the day and then performing stand-up at night. So November 7th at Good Robot. Tickets are available now at andrewivimey.com, or you can hit me up on social media anywhere.
Good Robot. I do love that bar. You're going to have a great time.
Nice.
All right. Well, that's it for the Beaverton Weekly Report. You can check us out on thebeaverton.com. We're writing articles. We're doing stuff. We're making moves. And I guess in closing, go Jays again, please, I hope.
Please, guys. Please. Please go.
Claire needs this, guys.
Go. I need this.
For Claire.
Do
for
it
Claire.
for me.
For Claire.
The Beaverton Weekly Report is produced by Andrew Ivimey in partnership with the From Superheroes Network. Visit FromSuperheroes.com to hear more great podcasts like this.